Santiago, welcome to Voice of the Vatican.
Thank you very much.
We're very happy to have you. And you, Santiago, are the head of Church and Sports section at the Vatican.
Yes.
Now, why is it that the Vatican is concerned about sports?
Well, why not? I mean, sports, like any other thing that the human being does, is interesting for the church because sports, it's a unique tool to evangelize, to spread the message into society. And it's a unique tool because it doesn't matter. There's no difference of religion, ideology, politics, money. So everybody can play sports. And the Catholic Church and the Holy See, as the institution of the government of the Church, has been interested since the beginning. Many pontiffs are not only interested in sports, but even they have practiced it. I can say that since 1906 there are more than 600 speeches on sports from the popes. So yeah, there has been always an interest on sports, and Pope Francis has repeatedly said that when sports are understood correctly, sport is always a source of growth for the human being and a way to defend his dignity. So I would say that it's a wonderful tool to evangelize. Yeah.
It most certainly is.
Yeah.
What is the mission of the office?
Well, the Church and Sports section has two main goals. On one side is in charge of the international representation of the Holy See on all the international federations on sports or the International Olympic Committee. We have been working with the Diocese of Rio de Janeiro this year in the Olympics, and for the pastoral care of the athletes, but also the people who goes for tourism to the Olympics. Also, we work very close with the nuncios and or representatives in the different international institutions, for example, the Council of Europe, and we work on, we collaborate to promote laws and directives that can show and can promote values and virtues on sports. This is on one side. On the other side, we study and we promote initiatives that can show the values of sports, and also to bring and form the new generations through sports on society. So we work, for example, with famous sports clubs, foundations on third world countries. Or we organize sometimes initiatives to promote values like the value of peace in places where there are problems, conflicts, to give education to many people, especially children, that they haven't had the opportunity to go to school. So we work with the different institutions to promote these initiatives, and we also try to study more specifically sports. We have done 4 international seminars on different topics to learn more about how to evangelize through sports and how we can help to develop a better society through sports. Yeah.
Now, you're talking about these various Catholic sports associations. How does the Church and Sports section work to foster cooperation among them?
Yes, in fact, one of the seminars we did was about the Catholic sport associations. So, because they are one of the most important links of the chain to spread the message that the Church wants to give to the world. and we are in constant contact with the Catholic sports associations to achieve two main objectives. On one side, to give them different ideas and initiatives that all the associations have done in different countries, because we cannot tell the associations what to do, because it's not the same to work on a sports ministry in United States than in Africa. They have different culture, different situations, but we give them different ideas, hints that can help them to work on sports ministry. And also we try to unite the purpose of the Catholic sports associations in each country. Sometimes with the bishops, when they come in the ad limina visits, we tell them to create sport pastoral programs in their diocese, or inside the bishop conference to appoint a person in charge of the sports ministry, so we can give a unique message, but also unite it all together. Yeah.
Now, something that's happening right now are, of course, the Paralympics going on in Brazil and Rio. Would you talk to us about the section's special contribution about the Casa Italia?
Yes, it's very interesting because for the Paralympics, the Italian Paralympic Committee has decided to organize the Casa Italia. Casa Italia, it's a place where the Italian athletes and also the people who went to Brazil, to Rio, for the Paralympics can go, and it's like a small, like an embassy for Italian people, but also a place to promote Italian culture, food, many different things in summary. And the Italian Paralympic Committee decided to do it this time in a Catholic parish with the support of the Diocese of Rio de Janeiro and the sponsorship of the Holy See. They organized it in a parish, in the Immaculate Conception parish in Rio, which is not far from the Olympic Village. And this way they are saving a lot of money, and they are returning the money, creating places for people with special abilities in Rio that they can play sports. They are creating fields and different structures for them in Rio de Janeiro. So it's as Pope Francis says, it's another way to see sports and to dignify the people, not to forget that even if we are lucky to play in the Olympics or in the Paralympics, we can do something for people in disadvantage or in need.
That's so true. And the Holy Father gave a special message for the Olympics and for the people of Brazil. And it was definitely a message of peace. Now, how do you think, Santiago, that people can learn the concept of peace from sport? Yes, in fact, in the August prayer intentions, Pope Francis said, he asked us to pray to build a culture of encounter, to make sports a vehicle of fraternity. And that's true. I mean, as I said before, sport is a unique means to bring peace to many countries, to many peoples, to many situations around the globe that it's difficult otherwise. And for example, I can tell as an example, not now, but for many years, we have organized in the Church and Sports section what is called the Holy Land Marathon. And it was a race from Bethlehem to Jerusalem. And it was the only day in the year that Palestinians could go into Jerusalem without doing the checkpoint. And around this race, there was a conference and different activities, soccer games where Palestinians and Israelis were playing together in the same team. I mean, many different things. And
I think that Pope Francis, like other popes in the past, but Pope Francis, that's why he has met a lot of different athletes and sport associations, movements, because he sees that he sees in sports a unique tool to bring peace and to spread a message of fraternity, as we said, of a culture of encounter between different cultures. Yeah.
What about individual athletes? Can you give us some examples of particular Christian athletes who are giving a great example of their faith as they're in the public eye?
Well, I don't want to mention any specific athlete. There are a lot of them, and if you go to the internet, you will find a lot of different testimonies of Christian and Catholic athletes that, for example, this summer during the Olympics, they have witnessed their faith when they won or when they fail in different situations. But I would like to say that we have very close, very good Christian Catholic testimonies of people that were very huge fans of sports, like Saint John Paul II. He used to ski, or he used to play soccer, of course, but also, for example, Blessed Spirit Giorgio Frassati, who is very well known in Italy, but he was one of the patrons of World Youth Day in Krakow and in Rio de Janeiro, but also, for example, Guido Schaffer, who was his cause of canonization is now open. He was a seminar in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, and he drowned in 2009. He was called the angel of the surfers, and we hope he could be the patron of athletes and sportsmen and women, because he has a very incredible testimony of how can an athlete can be also a person of faith.
Santiago, how would you say that this message of sport fits with the new evangelization?
Well, Pope Francis has repeatedly said that he wants Catholics he wants us to go outside, to go to the streets, to make noise, to go to the peripheries. And I think with sports it's very easy. We just have to go to the fields, to meet all the people, to reach people that maybe it's in difficulties, or for example, to bring people to sports so we can have a real this real culture of encounter that Pope Francis has told us about. And I think it's very easy, but we have to take the initiative. It's the time of the laity, as he said. So we cannot wait until someone will tell us, you have to do this, let's organize this. We cannot wait for the priest or the bishop to tell us to do something. We have to take the initiative and to risk sometimes to go to reach out others. So I think that sports would fit very good in this project of new evangelization that Pope Francis is taking on these days.
Well, Santiago, thank you so much for sharing these insights with us, definitely. And may God bless you and your ministry. And thank you for being with Voice of the Vatican and Shalom.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.